Right. When it was all said and done, was there anything missing from that album that we may not know? A producer, a MC that was supposed to be on the album. Was there anything missing that we may not know about?
Not, not that I recall. Not that I recall right now at the moment. I don't think so. Unless you know something I don't know.
No. Usually there's a story. Usually,
you are no joke with your interviews. You
I
are very well
appreciate that.
informed. Yes.
Thank you. Usually there's a story of, oh, we could have got Jay-Z, but such and such, or, there's always a certain story behind classic albums. And I just wanted to make sure.
Not that I remember. And also because we really didn't, I don't want to say it in a condescending way, but we didn't really sweat nobody. We didn't really, we had dudes that was dope. Yo, he's dope, but not to the point where, we have to have him on our album. Now, we wanted to do our own thing, and organically, if it happened, cool. You know what I mean? Like the Lox, they ended up becoming, who they are now. Right. But we did that before they were, before they were that. Black Rob, right. Nobody knew Black Rob. We put him on, he became who he was later. You know what I mean? Really, the only superstar would be Slick Rick. We had other stars, don't get me wrong. We had my girl Antoinette. Don't forget Antoinette. The Gangstress was on there. You know what I mean? Right. We like to call her the first lady of CRU. You know what I mean? She's dope.
Right.
She's official. So she's another star. In our eyes, she's a star. We love her. You know what I mean? She's a star. So she was on the album. But Tracy Lee, he wasn't, he was new too. You know what I mean? He became who he became later. So a lot of people we had, what I'm trying to say, became who they were later. We kind of like, I kind of like the fact that we scouted this talent and took them before they were somebody. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. The only ones that were already established was really Ras Kass, Slick Rick and Antoinette. But even Anthony Hamilton, he became who he was later. You know what I mean? So,
right.
Yeah, we like that fact.
Your album birthed a lot of superstars, so to speak.
Yeah. I'm not gonna take credit and say birthed them, but we were first to hear them, feel them, and say, you know what? Come on, let's do a joint with them because they dope.
Right.
So, yeah, we birthed them.
Go ahead. I'm giving you your flowers now. You birthed a lot of them. Looking back, doing research, I was like, wow, like Black Rob and the Lox, all before, they blew up. You guys had that vision early on. So
yeah, definitely. We love them, man. We love them, man. They're just so dope. When you're really in it for the culture and your heart, it's not hard to see them for who they are or who they're going to be. You know what I mean?
Right.
And there's no, ulterior motives, and you just there with the love and the culture, you're going to see that easily.
Right. When it was all said and done, was Chadio pleased with that project?
You know what? For the most part, I was. I was for the most part. Like I said, a couple of things, maybe the bubbling thing. There's a couple of things that always in retrospect, you're gonna be like, we probably could have did that. We probably should have did this. But for the most part, listen, I go by the people, and we got some fans. We got like a cult following of fans, across the world, in different countries, a little here and there, and here also, and they love it. You know what I mean? They love the album. Words come out their mouth like, classic album, most underrated album slept on ever in hip hop history. Like I read these things and, it touches me because I know I touched them, and that's all you want to do with your music. You want people to be touched and to like it. You want them to rock with your music. That's it. And I'm good with that.
Right. When it was all said and done, what was the plan going into the sophomore album? What's going on with the group, and what's going on with the relationship with Def Jam at this time?
See, now we getting into, you know what I mean? Now we getting into the murky waters, the nitty gritty. So we did the first album, right? It came out the way it came out, even though it didn't sell the way we wanted it to sell, right? Or the label especially wanted it to sell. But we knew we had a foundation. We had a foundation of people that were following us that we could build upon. So we started doing the second album, right? I think we did, man. We might have got halfway done with it because we wasn't going to do a 30-track joint again. You know, maybe a clean 15, the dirty 30 and the clean 15. You know what I mean? So we were like halfway done. We might have did like 7, 8 joints. And it was coming out crazy. Like I was more excited with that album, with where it was going, the trajectory, as opposed to the first one. I mean, everybody seemed to be a little more seasoned, flow-wise, lyrical, musically. Everybody was locked in. It wasn't hard to come up with ideas, and it was like we were just locked in. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, of course, as we all know, it was never completed, never released, right? So I know you're gonna ask what happened.
What happened?
So honestly, we always had this vision because Yog is an excellent producer. Yog's beats, Yog was my guy. He was my favorite back then. So he production wise, that was his thing. You know what I mean? And we always knew, yo, you got to go out there and sell beats to other people to try to make money. We knew that. So eventually, of course, you're a little biased. Nah, that's me. Get out of here. No, that's me. But nah, you got to let him rock. You know what I mean? So we always discussed that, and he was going to go. But a certain individual in the industry got wind of him, and they had their little discussions or whatever, and this guy kind of pulled them to over there where he was at. And in the process of that happening, Yog neglected the CRU project in a sense. And it just happened that way where he went over there, and now we're not doing what we're supposed to on this side. And there may have been other factors that I don't know about, but I'm just telling you what I saw from my personal view and what occurred with me. He just, you know what I mean, gravitated to that side, that production side with this individual, and the CRU album was neglected, and unfortunately it never was completed or came out.
So we're talking 98-ish, 99?
98-ish, 99, 98 and 99. Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead.
I'm sorry. In 98, we were getting busy, but then you saw the workloads becoming less and less. Less studio time, it gradually happened. So in 99, we may have did a couple of joints, but really the brunt of it was 98.
Gotcha. So where is Chadio at mentally during this point?
Well, I was tight. I got tight when not during the process, because you don't really know the end result is going to be that where, you don't complete it or release it. So, but when it happened and it wasn't completed, it wasn't released, and the way it happened left a sour taste in my mouth. So yes, I was tight about it. You know what I mean? For a minute. But after a while, you speak to your people that's around you, your support system, and you just move on. You know what I mean? What you gonna do? It happened, and what you gonna do about it? You know what I mean? What you gonna cry over it? You know what I mean? It is what it is. You just but it left a sour taste in my mouth to the point where I did this to hip hop. I did this to the music. I'm good. Now I'm good. I wouldn't even listen to it on the radio. At that time, it was radio. You listen to these radio stations, these, hot this, hot that. I wouldn't listen to the radio. I was like, you know what? It left a bad taste in my mouth. You know what I mean? So I went away from hip hop for a while. You know what I mean? And it was a bad time, hip hop wise.
Right. Here we are, 2021. That happened some 20 years ago. Give us a timeline of when Chadio started to, get back into music and find his passion again.
Well, 10 years after that happened.
Wow.
I started, it's just calling you. It's like I said, you can try to deny it. You can try to run away from it. But when it's inbred in you, you know what I mean? And it's a part of your culture, part of your blood, you're going to gravitate back to it. So I start feeling the itch to write. So I start writing and stuff. I start writing. I'm thinking I'm just going to exercise this by just penning in the house and throwing it in the drawer. Then I ended up doing a project. I hook up. It seems like things just happen. I hook up with these cats doing beats. they want to do this project, you know, and you know, they had did some beats for Big Pun, you know, and you know, I get with them, and before I know it, you know, I did a project and it was titled Internal Insurgency. You know what I mean? That's internal insurgency right there on the low. This right here, if you have it, you have something that's super rare, because I didn't release it. No streams have it. No, you can't buy it nowhere right now, unless, of course, you buy it from me. You know what I mean? That's the only way.
Right.
Super. But I really went in on that, and it was really just pouring out my emotions and just hip hop. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And that was 2010?
That was 2010, about 2010, around there. And
Right.
But then after that, I put it away again. Not out of bitterness though. You know what I mean? I had gotten married in the process of that. You know, I had another child. You know, life took over. You know, I became a civilian. I had to get jobs. I had to work as a civilian, get some jobs, and maintain the household. You know what I mean? So that took over. You know, that takes over your life. The brunt of your time now is working and getting, you know, keeping that roof over your family's head.
Right.
So that's why I parted from it until now. But now, like, to be honest, I'm on like 2 hours sleep, Sin-seer, to be honest. I was in the studio last night all night.
You was telling me. Right.
So we was going in. I did like 3 songs last night alone. And it's funny because how I said it happens organically. So while I'm in the studio, I get somebody hits me on social media. And it's my guy who did 2 beats on my old project, this Internal Insurgency joint. So he hits me up and goes, yo, you need any beats? He doesn't know I'm doing anything. This is just him taking a shot in the dark. And I go, yo, as a matter of fact, I said something funny. I said, yeah, you send me that crack, man. I think I'm going to start smoking again. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he sent me, I believe, 7 beats. I always loved his beats. Fire. I hit him today. I said, you know what? Why don't we do this project together? Just you and I. I want him to do the production, and I'm going to smash it. Sort of like, you know how Doom did with Mad Villain or whatever?
Right.
I want him to be a part of it. I want to be up front. You know what I mean? So I was like, yo, we could tentatively title it, you know, King Chad. But not King K-I-N-G, K-A-N-G, because that's his name, Steve Kang. So I said, you know, mesh of the names, King Chad. And I started, you know, the ideas go, I can have the crown with this, you know, you just start flowing. So it's on now. It's officially on. The floodgates have been open, and I'm definitely going to release a new project.
Right. You've been in the game well over 20 years. What's keeping you inspired to keep making music?
I love hip hop. I love it, and I realize that I'm gonna love it till I'm putting the dirt. You know what I mean? So I'm putting that casket. It's me. It's a part of me. You know, I spoke to a couple of cats, you know, that I, you know, used to be cool with and stuff in hip hop. I spoke to Super Nat, you know, Breeze Bruin. That's a good brother, man. I love the Juggernauts, man. You know, a couple of cats, you know, and they kind of, you know, reminded me, like, yo, my man, this is you. Like, don't try to hide from it. This is you. This is who you are. This is your culture. You know what I mean? Do what you really want to do. And they knew it's MC. You want to MC, I know it. You can't just put that down when you really are an MC and love the.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. You've been in the game, like I said, well over 20 years. What do you consider yourself, what do you consider your greatest achievement music-wise throughout the years?
Music-wise, my greatest memory is, of course, like I told you, the KRS-One situation. That was my greatest memory. I think achievement is being part of a community and building relationships with people that I probably would have never had the chance to build relationships with. You know what I mean? People work with people that I probably would have never been able to work with musically. You know what I'm saying? That's my greatest achievement is that, because that lasts forever. Like if I give you a call right now, you know, they're gonna answer. If I call Cormega right now, we're gonna chop it up. If I call whoever, you know, that I cherish more than anything. I cherish that more than any of those, you know, cookie cutter answers. You know what I'm trying to say? That's
Right.
what I really cherish, man. I love the community, my people.
Right. For the fans who've been down with CRU from day one, what is the current status of CRU?
Well, CRU itself, we still cool. You know, we chop it up. You never know if something can happen. I'm never gonna say no. Never say never. You know, I still talk to Yogi here and there. Who knows if Yo calls one day and says, yo, you know what? Let's do this. I'm ready. I'm always willing, like I said. I'm going to be doing my own projects. I'm going to be doing what I do. They'll be CRU-oriented too, because, you know, that's who I am. But I'm going to be doing my own thing. But if the call comes, we're going to lock in.
Right. Were you guys able to walk away with the partially done sophomore album?
I have tracks. Yeah, I got them.
Any plans for a release in some sort of fashion?
Could be. It could happen. It might happen. It could, maybe.
Possibly.
You know what I mean? We'll talk off the record.
No doubt. We'll do that. We'll keep it between me and you.
Yeah.
Catch us up on what you are currently working on besides the Kang, Chad, and what we can look forward to in the future from Chadio.
Well, right now, you know, that's my main focal point right now. I want to lock into that. But I'm doing work with I got a brother from the Bronx named Cloak. You know, I did a joint with him. That's fire. I'm on his project. I think he wants to do a video for it, so we're probably gonna film a video. But my main focal point right now is to lock in on this project with my brother Steve King, and I want to create a classic. I want it to be, you know, I want it to be one of those hip hop classics. You know, that's my goal. But right now it's just music, writing, coming up with ideas.
Any avenues you're looking to pursue outside of music?
Well, I mean, I'm doing the merchandising thing right now. I'm you know, I got the CRU. Matter of fact, I got, you know what I mean? I'm rocking the merchandise. These are CRU t-shirts, you know what I mean? I'm doing the CRU shirts, the CRU hats, you know, with the logo being that it's such a iconic logo to most people. You know, I said, hey, why not? You know what I mean? So I'm kind of delving into that as a virgin. I don't really know much about it, but I'm doing well right now, you know, because I never want to give people a bad product or make them wait for their stuff. Like, that's not my style. Pretty much I'm real responsible when it comes to doing the music, going to the studio, being there early, and that's going to ride over into this as well. So that's all I'm really doing right now is the music and some merch.
Right. Can you shout out where they can find the merch at and any other social media we can keep up with Chadio at?
Yeah, I'm at Real CRU. Instagram, of course, is Real CRU. This is my main focal point right here. This is where I'm at. You can want to find me, and I'm gonna be at Instagram, REALCRU. You know what I mean? And you can buy the merch from me there. I'm selling the merch. If you go to my page, you know, you can sell the merch. The details are there as far as prices, and you know, everything you need to know is there.
Right. I think I got a couple questions for you before we get out of here.
All right.
Can you ask Chad, how did they link for the Diamond D for the Hiatus remix?
Yeah, the Hiatus remix. You know, it's funny. We linked with Diamond D. He wanted us to do the remix. So we said, okay, of course. Diamond's a legend. He's from the Bronx. So we did it, and it's funny because we did it in the basement of his. We were in the basement of his apartment discussing it and doing a little rough draft of it and listening to beats, and then we ended up doing a song with a brother named Scientific. Man, he rests in peace also. Scientific was there, and he was from Massachusetts. He was dope, man. He had a good local following over there. He was doing his thing, but unfortunately, you know, he passed away soon after that. So I remember Hiatus becoming that. Like, you know, we hooked up with this cat right here, Scientific, that day. Did the song that day. We did a joint together, and you know, like I said, unfortunately, things happened where, you know, he passed. But that's how that started. That's how the Hiatus thing happened. You know, just hanging out with Diamond, going to visit him in his house, going to the basement, listening to beats, chopping it up, then doing a song with Scientific. Then after that, we ended up doing Hiatus.
Right. I think I got one more. Let me see. How did you react to Black Rob's "Test My Burner" on a horse line on Recognize?
Oh, that was dope. That was dope. Matter of fact, forget the line. His whole rhyme, his whole verse there is a hip hop quotable. You know what I mean? He crushed that whole verse. Black Rob is dope, man. Black Rob, he was one of my favorites as far as lyrically, man. He was a beast. So yeah, I mean, you could say that line, but me, it's not the line, it's the whole rhyme. Had me like, whoa, you know what I mean?
No doubt. Well, Chadio, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to talk to you. I know you don't do a lot of interviews, but let's stay in touch. Anything you got new, be sure to send it my way. For those who've been rocking with you since day one, do you have any last words for those people?
Man, I'm not going nowhere. I'm here now, and I'm here to stay. I'm going to be releasing music. As I said, I'm going to have the merch. I know a lot of people like them shirts. They've been asking me. So that's why I did it, really. They've been asking. So I'm going to have the merch, too. And, you know, we're going to move forward, and we're going to get busy. You know what I mean? Hip-hop. You know what I mean? For the culture.
No doubt. Thank you so much. Like I said, keep doing your thing, and let's stay in touch.
Indeed, my brother. You know, Sin-seer. Good looking out.
No doubt. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and I'll see you in the near future.
Peace, my brother.
Peace. Salute.
Salute.